Chapter 6, Monday. Man, if I could keep a turnaround day like this, I'd mostly definitely would. Around circling up for informal group, I actually nailed it for sure. Mr. Gooseby told myself that I earned my week. Now being able to pass the time with a learning phase too. He also told me, us, or any of us, that we're all going to Camp Synergy, including me. The only downfall is that we only get to bring certain stuff inside our bags, and we all gotta sleep inside tents, which is so weird. I'm not gonna lie. But I kind of knew this was going to happen, to be honest myself. Chris got his progress phase, aka action phase, and he's surely excited on coming a long way since then. I told Miss Johnson about how I have just earned my learning too. She said, well, it's about time. It's about time. Miss Hacker finally came back, and she told me something like, you're lucky that orientation was changed to yellow, because technically orange still counts. I felt shivers down my spine a little when she told myself that, which became a sign of relief. Yep, I am totally lucky towards coming over towards Camp Synergy tomorrow, but Desmond told myself when we line up for dinners that, you better not talk a lot when it's time to go to bed inside our tents. And you know what else he said once we began sitting around the cafeteria table speaking? I'm not gonna lie, but I will try pushing Nick out of the boat when we're in the middle of that water. Except him spoiling big secrets means towards trusting my own instincts as well as doing himself literally. Mr. Gooseby stated, though, that I gotta leave my journal here, so I might just have to catch up either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on however this journey will take me for a cup of wine. Anyways, without further ado, let's start out by continued California love, shall we? Foster care and California love, part 2. Chapter 6, jumping into more placements. After Auntie's place wasn't temporary to live in, CPS helped me crash over at Roy Summergolski's house. She was your typical chill foster parent, staying up and laying it late staying. The first night I can remember clearly is watching YouTube till 3 a.m. in the early morning bird. Or watching Pornhub, most likely. But yeah, using the TV felt good, now that I was away from my mother's boyfriend, Joy Fetzenfu. As day 2 happened, Summergolski saw me eat toasted Pop-Tarts, my bad. The next morning when the sunrise bloated upwards. During day 2, Summer brought me over to her niece's soccer practice, and I can totally remember back then when one of Summer's sisters said, you know, you should put him in a foster home with teenagers or something. Running fast around that soccer ball field is forgiving my every will. I always love running to this day. Summer drove us over towards her sister's house, and that's when she said some words I began disliking over, saying, if you're inside my house, you will have to respect these rules that I know may seem strict and all. Strict, huh? Funny. Then, taking note after note, Summer surely had something in mind. Anyways, I actually now figure what day and week I messed up on. With the day 2 was actually later into the future. Sorry. My actual first days was one can assist. I remember me and Summer Golski parked, into that Shasta Mall. And out of plain sight, Nina showed from back then. Nina was with her caseworker, and me seeing Nina's face again got so much power into it. But when we only saw Nina in those exact 5 minutes, I sadly had to go shopping for shoes. Nina's always a true legend. Buying some yellow and gray Nikes was buzzing on a high note, running around with these babies kicked the full maximum. But over there these weeks, I had a Camp Hope reunion. One summer dropped me off. Because seeing Nina in person one last time isn't a real good taste in my own medicine, just saying. I played laser tag against Aiden, Braden, Marshall, Nina, including Caleb Johnson. Then I raced through go-karting against Nina, boosting more speed. And after that, things fell apart for the most of energy sakes. Nina's foster mother showed up saying, get in the freaking car, Nina! Nina tried talking her out of this, but she couldn't. The rain came pouring down. Nina shut her foster mother's car door, and they took off ever since. I looked into a wet distance, realized Summer showed up back late. I'm never going to forget those horrific moments either. To this day, I'll begin having decently amounts of dreams about Nina, not gonna lie. If I go back and stop Nina's foster mother from drugging my girlfriend's moral sin out, I would. But these days, life as we know it would change automatically. And there can be damage caused throughout time's continuation. Summer Rogolski had herself twisted sooner than later, except before I dealt with her much better or much Explain Dark Side. I had a sleepover with Katie Norris at one point inside Summer's place. Katie Norris packed all his stuff, so picking him up felt new. Honestly, he dropped his belongings inside my room, and Summer let myself borrow a flip phone back in those days too. A lot of the times going strong, Kaden and me usually would walk to the park Auntie took myself towards late that night. So playing music outside, Kaden Norris and me enjoyed swinging, including goofing off like good old pals. Kaden saw the sunset go down, and he literally looked dead into my own eyes, an emotional memory I won't forget since. And so basically what happened after Kaden and me hung around till the movies played Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, well, plot twist. Me and Kaden felt like our friendship was over. He told myself this during IP school round fall season, my bad, when he just got sick of me acting extremely angry inside of school mostly every day. I let it slide and forgot all about Katie Norris since, until 2022 happened. But let's save this one for another chapter, not gonna lie to you guys. Summer Rogowski one day brought me over into a healthy food store, where she tricked myself into thinking things couldn't possibly get any worse. At night we came back from her own version of a grocery store. Summer decided to sleep on her couch, but instead of treating me nice afterwards, she manipulated my own head. In fact, speaking otherwise, once morning later, I happily woke up, but Summer didn't wake up, so I just kind of thought Summer Golsky wasn't going to bring me over to IP school, until she got pissed towards myself and started mocking my own words too. I decided to break her stupid DVD that was always sitting in front of her van, but Summer instated or engaged or is I don't know how to say that word. Instigated me, my bad. Instead, she basically put her hands close up into my face and I told Summer this. I'm gonna call 911 on you. Summer didn't hesitate, but she did try taking away my flip phone from me. I told Summer I ain't giving it to her, so Summer says, guess what? That flip phone is gonna expire once you're grounded. I had no choice but to let Summer call 911 on me. And she totally lied to the cops, too. We pulled over onto the side of an Anderson highway, and those cops put handcuffs behind my back, taking me over to Redding's hospital or whatever. As I sat where all of them other teenagers spared, my old mentor named Derek came over to come investigate what just happened between me and Summer. Obviously, Summer took myself back towards her van, and she made surely clear where I got to put or got put at. But unfortunately, she tricked myself and locked me where I wasn't free escaping out of. She sat next to her mom, let me sit inside a van with almost zero oxygen, and I'm surely clear she plotted a crucial trap nevertheless. I need an escape plan, so I ran out of Summer's front seat and dropped down like it's Summer recorded me in her iPhone 12, and I was pissed off. Kicking that van surely assumed nothing got out of it, but I ran away fast enough where Summer can't catch this boy at, aka me. The journey as I ran across other neighborhoods at nighttime's rear end became epic. I'm cold, but I came journeying over to Auntie's place, where shockingly enough, Auntie looked surprised to see me once more. I tried telling Auntie how I can't bear to live, or but to live with her instead. Auntie told myself she's retiring as a foster parent, sadly saying so herself. She said she only had 2 weeks left until her foster care needs were done for. So Auntie let me sleep, and she totally called CPS to find another home. And I'm sorry guys if I'm messing up, but I have bedtime schedule to go through, so I can't really do much. The next day I intentionally woke back up and Auntie said her goodbyes. Yep, life's tough, but realizing that this journey is not rapidly over yet means business. So I'll tell y'all how Camp Synergy went by Wednesday or latest by Thursday. My question is though, I'm having second thoughts if I ever do breaks other realities loose. Who am I kidding? Nothing could possibly go wrong, right? To be continued for Chapter 7. Chapter 7. Wednesday. I am totally rethinking going to Camp Synergy again. And I know I had to misspell the word synergy for some weird reason. Anyways, a couple of nights ago, Miss Hacker told us to pack certain stuff Mr. Gooseby provided for all Mohican peers. I thought the next morning while I have sleep that those speakers stated, attention all gladiators, we will not have power for at least 2 hours. Again, we will not have power for at least 2 hours. Thank you. So of course, only half of those lights ever came on when it come down to rooms and bathrooms, which became kind of fun if you ask me. Mr. Gooseby also told us we're supposed to wear our Camp Synergy shirts. Nevertheless, those babies felt good within his high quality material. We stormed out of rooms after breakfast, and before you knew what happened next, our van ride parked right in front of our faces at last. Miss Thomas took over the wheel, drive fast, and turned up the music really smooth. While enjoying myself sitting in that back of the white van's point guard taking felt like those good old days from California's breezy weather. Overall, we finally hit a dead end. Once entering into an RV park was surprisingly kind of disappointing. I thought we were going to sleep anywhere else besides the RV park, to come out honest with myself. But instead, we slept between those Vikings and Spartans. The dragons, knights, and titans were beginning to leave, because after that, things got confusing. We checked inside the coolers, but looks like Miss Mac was willing to get ourselves McDonald's, not gonna lie. Until now, Miss Mac took us towards the basketball court, meeting with the Spartans going 1v1 against each other. I took a look around and saw Mr. Cooper cooking up a storm. I got curious for some reason, so asking Miss Mac on walking uphill wouldn't be a problem, right? Well, I decided to keep those thoughts to myself, otherwise asking her would be difficult anyway speaking. But something in my mind told me that asking Mr. Cooper could easily fall back on myself, yet if waiting till around lunch or dinner could do no harm, so I began waiting in terms of knowledge being secretive. Coach Wilson nor Dr. Miller wasn't anywhere to be seen, and I began waiting for that one too. Lunch approached quickly enough, and I had a right mind onto asking Mr. Cooper what he was cooking, because all he had was Lunchables, chips, Kool-Aid drinks, and small stuff like that. But Miss Mack and the Mustangs began rushing, just so we're able heading for Dr. Miller's tube ride around the lake. Yes, I could go live another dream over there, plus play in underwater sharks versus minnows and meet some new chicks, if you know what I mean. We drove the longer way towards the lake. As we began hopping out of our van, those Mustangs dived 3 piers in those 3 rounds onto the tube ride, which was us. These Mustangs is us. 1. Desmond, DeAndre, John. 2. Dianco, Johan, and Chris. 3. Skylar, Braden, and me. We all caught up with the Vikings, and then they left off from the fishing dock instead, which left us Mustangs hanging after. Desmond, DeAndre, and John left to the tubing boat, but after they got off, John warned me not to go on the ride. I tried explaining to Jonathan about how I've been on many roller coasters, like King of Ka, Orion, and also Diamondback, including the Superman ride from Six Flags New England. But John wasn't convinced. So after Johan, Dianco, and Chris got off, they didn't feel as scared. And this proved how I'm a hero, not no ordinary type of individual. We put on life jackets, got on the boat with Coach Wilson, Dr. Miller, and Mr. Taylor, then began listening to all the rules followed. Coach Wilson said if we put our feet into the lake while we're tubing away, then he said our foot and leg could get broken easily. I made sure of it, because when Skylar told myself towards holding on to the tube's handles, I became prepared. This tube's max flew, thanks from either Dr. Miller or either Coach Wilson's help. We started taking drifts. Then we were going even more fast. And before you knew it, things turned up. I wasn't scared one bit until by then it was already a pass overdue. We crashed as it was World War II, but I thought things were okay except coughing up water did me a lot of damage. Yet, given this blowout didn't feel worthy of losing force, so me and Braden weren't going for all that until went riding once more. Braden started freaking out, especially when trying to calm him down by making jokes after jokes. Unexpectedly, Coach Wilson wasn't going to go as fast, and things started showing back towards shore. Coach Wilson told us I will not only take those that are being good for extra camp synergy time, because I've already felt salt water all over my head, and I'll be honest with myself, who would dare crash land flipping 360 across atmosphere? I began walking back out, and Desmond kept blaming me that I was scared and blah blah this, but no, I was not. We drove back over towards camps and waiting to go over and eat dinner. Mr. Cooper was hiding something in one of his backpacks and began shining like dynamite. As we were lining up, I tried snatching Mr. Cooper's backpack, and the second I opened it, Mr. Cooper had a ball, but inside of it was an ancient or something like a magnum cube. Chapter 8. As I touched the magma cube, this thing began floating up, like it was beginning to explode for some unknown reason explained. Mr. Cooper looked over me, and he snapped his fingers, taking over into a somewhat underground sanctum. Mr. Cooper came crashing down, and then he said, "What have you done?" That's when I yelled, "I didn't know you were some kind of wizard or something, Mr. Cooper." Yet Mr. Cooper had a bluish cape, but its texture is a fluffy carpet either way. "You know what you just did?" Mr. Cooper yells. "What, the multiverse is real estate?" Mr. Cooper told myself how I have messed with the ability of space and time, which sounded absolutely scary, to say the least. Then Mr. Cooper says, "There's numerous universes out there. And those, but the multiverse, yet again, is a concept about which we know frighteningly little. Mr. Cooper also explained how I might have jinxed myself into bringing in really evil versions of me thanks to touching that Tesseract instead of myself thinking it was a Magnum Cube instead. Then my head popped. What if? What if we could refix this mess and maybe go back in time and possibly see the death of my girlfriend Nina? I said. Who's this? Mr. Cooper asked. I just told you, Nina's my girlfriend, Mr. Cooper, sir, I say. Well, going back in time is extremely dangerous. You could easily erase those moments from your past. You could erase history and possibly cause infinite numbers of realities clashing into each other, Mr. Cooper warns. Mr. Cooper, I just want to fix the past, and I'm willing to stop Nina from being murdered, because going back in time may be the only way to fix the damage I have done. Choosing sacrifice for everything I can promise you, I'm capable of doing so. My bad, sir. I finished. Look, kid, I want to help you, but don't you see? You corrupted time itself. Isn't that a little too much? He explains calmly, Sir, this damage is all my fault, and I want to fix it because clearly I'm not afraid of falling, no matter what the cost is, especially when Dory passed away 2 years ago. Or 2 days ago, sir. I'm playing with you. Don't play with me. Okay, I said. I'm sorry, who's Dory? Mr. Cooper asks. I mean, when he was asking me that question, guys, I was like, yeah, let's move on. It's whatever. Dory was my co-caseworker. She usually showed up a lot and wanted to seek a better future for myself, but Dory sadly died not too long ago, which broke me down, I explained. I'm so sorry, kid. Look, if you want to fix time the right way, do this for Nina, and maybe we can figure out a way to go back in time somehow, Mr. Cooper said. Are you sure? I asked. I am sure, he says. So Mr. Cooper handed me over a few magical gadgets, and because he handed my bad, I can open portals as long as I'm thinking about where I want to go moving forwards. I jumped back at the exact time the Tesseract exploded into shards, but looks like time stopped, and I just went my bad, into my exact body form, instead of letting a mirror dimension crash together or whatever. The Mustangs were going to the beach, and I became prepared. We drove down by the lake, parked by its core, and the Spartans, including the Vikings, was having a blast inside the water. You know how I said I'm gonna meet some new chicks? Well, they weren't paying any attention, especially trying to too hard by running down a giant green hill as well. Shockingly, one of those Spartans knew who I was, and he even came over to Thurgood Marshall with me too. Not only did one of those Spartans knew who I was, but a Viking did as it came down to it. He also was at Thurgood Marshall, and so us three just began talking nonstop until I spotted a portal. That's when I ran. Except magic comes as no surprise either. When my speed went so quick, I had superpowers. I decided to go check out who this was, and now I see I had brought a darker ally who went kicking me across the lake at such a high altitude. Who are you? I yell. This guy was me, but more gothier and looked straight more bad boy Ross than anything I have seen against myself. Are you looking for me? I yelled again. This menacing version of myself didn't apply whatsoever, and he still was crashing or chasing after me across the lake. So crashing, chasing isn't the same thing, my bad. Can you hear the words coming out of my mouth? I yell even louder. This guy did not answer back. He's just that type of guy. So I ran through a portal, leaving my unknown self from entering out of Alaska. Unfortunately, he's some kind of genius because this dude came crashing back out. And before you knew it, he started creating circled waves, which loop-de-loop and cross. I had no choice but to fight this dude back, and he's got into the talking. My name is Rick Druce. I came here to hunt you down and refix what I've started, he yells menacing enough. But I'm trying to do the same, so you might want to leave this universe alone, FYI said. Buddy, I had a universe. I had a life. And you're the entire reasons for my loss, he yells even louder than ever. I made sure to take him down into Mr. Cooper's sanctum, but once capturing my evil variant, Mr. Cooper says everyone has seen me use portals, so now I gotta fast forward after Camp Synergy happened. And that's exactly what Mr. Cooper did. Even when going into the future, let's just say I have water stuck inside my right ear, and toothaches as coming for hives, or mosquito bites over my legs and booty cheeks. I'm kinda glad I traveled one day into the future, because sleeping in those tents would have sucked butt. Now, I must go. But if you enjoyed today's podcast / audiobook and chapter, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't, because we need more subscribers. Can't lose them. And follow me on Little Money Heist or Money Heist Little 15. My bad. I don't know why I keep messing up, guys. It's just frustrating. You know what I'm saying? It really is. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next episode as I continue. And peace out. So yeah, but as I go eat my chicken sandwich and have my Doritos, then I must do so. But that's tomorrow since it's already nighttime. We might as well not focus on that since my staff is coming downstairs right now, I believe. And yeah, that's the end of the story for that. So no more explanation needed.